Yeah, I always knew that I wanted to have an adventurous life. I didn't really know what that would look like, but there's more I want to do, there's more I want to experience, but I am content with what I've been able to accomplish. I feel grateful. My biggest goal was to become a musician and be able to pay my bills and live my life. And I've been doing that for a decade. And I'm still doing it, and it's getting better, so I'm like, man, that's pretty wild.
I wanted to see Dylan Chambers live, and I missed it. But lo and behold, that's okay because he's here.
Here I am.
In the studio.
Yeah.
Welcome back, man.
Thanks, man. It's good to see you.
You look great.
Thank you. So do you.
I like the black shirt. The glasses are new. Are they new?
Yeah, I just picked them up at a thrift store when I was in Spokane.
So you're picking up your glasses at thrift store. I'm ordering $11 sunglasses on Amazon.
Hey, there's no wrong way to do it.
Because I lose them. Yeah. I forget them in the car. But Dylan Chambers, I feel like you've kind of been around the world and back, and you haven't been that gone far long since the last time you were on the podcast.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's been about a year since I was back here, almost. I was looking at our text chain. I think I was here in November of last year.
Wow.
So yeah, not even a year. But yeah, I've been traveling a lot since I last saw you.
You performed here in the studio, and that was so freaking cool.
Oh man, yeah, that was fun.
I gotta repost that of just you just jamming out, riffing, and it's just you and the guitar. You're so talented, man.
Thank you, dude.
You are so talented. And even Michelle Zuno said this too the last time she was here. She's like, he got so much soul.
Oh man,
so much soul, and it comes natural to you.
Thank you. It's very kind of y'all. Thanks.
So what was it like performing at the Troubadour? And you were opening up for somebody pretty legendary.
Yeah, I opened for John Oates of Daryl Hall and John Oates. Yeah, and it was incredible, man. I've been to the Troubadour a lot in my time of living in LA. I've only been up on that stage a few times. I don't think I ever played a full set there before. So this was my first time actually playing a full set, and then, getting to open for a hero of mine and someone who I've admired for a long time was so special. I can't even really describe how meaningful that was for me.
Did you know him before?
No, I never met him. Nope.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how did you get to play for him?
So I had seen that he was about to do a solo tour. I know that he and Daryl Hall, his partner of a million years, they've been running into some issues.
Right.
So John was doing a solo tour. He just put out a brand new record, and he was supporting that. And I just saw on socials that he was doing it. So I asked my management to reach out to his team and just see if he would need an opener at all for anything. And initially they said no. They said, John doesn't use openers, but thanks for your interest. And I was like, all right, sometimes you just got to take risks, and, it's a shot in the dark. And I was like, all right, that's cool. I was going to go to the show anyway, just to go see him,
Did you say that in the message?
I didn't tell him, no.
Oh, okay.
But then 3 weeks later, my manager, he reached back out and he was like, hey, man, so now they're interested in having you open. Like, do you still want to do it? And I was like, are you kidding me?
What happened?
I don't know, but I was so happy to get the call, and I did it, and it was absolutely incredible.
That's huge.
Yeah, man. I got to meet John after. It's pretty cool. He sent someone from his team to come grab me from my green room, and they said, hey, John wants to talk with you, because I hadn't really been able to meet him or hang out before the show, and also, I'm not going to get
because I wonder
way.
what is it like to perform for somebody like that, So do you always get to meet them, or maybe sometimes you don't?
You never know. Sometimes you do. I've just learned to not really have any expectations. Of course, I wanted to meet him. He's a hero of mine. I've loved his music that he's been a part of for so many years, and I grew up with it. So, it's like, yeah, I'd love to meet him. But again, there was no pressure. But yeah, man, after the night was over, after he had finished and everything, he sent someone to come grab me, and they said, John would like to meet you. So I walked into his dressing room, and someone ushered me over, and we had a really great conversation. He was so kind and just said so many things to me that I still am trying to digest. He really enjoyed my set, and he was like, you ever make it out to Nashville much? That's where I live, and I'd love to, do something with you. And he said, I'll get a band together. I'd like to cut something on you and come over to the house. And my wife was standing there right next to me, and I just, I remember in the car ride home, I just said, that happened, right? He said that,
right.
just making sure, because I was present, but I was also hovering above myself.
That's what happens, right? You're kind of there, but you're kind of watching as it happens, but you want to make sure that you're as present as you can be to make sure that Yeah, and I'm sure he liked you.
I mean, he said he did, and I respect so much of the music that he's been a part of, and also the music that influenced him when he was young. Influences me. That's the wonderful thing about music is, it doesn't have an expiration date in terms of who it can influence. Right. I mean, any type of music from any time in history can influence anyone in the present. And so, there was a commonality. I'm a big soul guy. I love all that too. Mm-hmm. And I think there was a nice little bond that was forming, and, looking forward to seeing where it could potentially go.
How long were you in the room talking to him?
About 10 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
Did that 10 minutes seem like enough time?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it felt so long, and then it also felt like a blip in time. It felt like I was in a dream, sort of.
Yeah. Wow. And then you walk away.
Mm-hmm.
What are you thinking? How are you feeling when you're walking away from that room?
Well, it was more than I expected. I didn't really know what would happen,
Right.
But I didn't think that would happen.
Right.
You just don't know what's going to happen. But I didn't think, John will really love my set. He'll pull me into his dressing room, and we'll have a nice bonding moment, and he'll tell me he wants to work with me.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that, So I was, I'm still flying a little bit. I'm still hovering above myself thinking about that.
When you posted on Instagram and you said, that this was the magical night, or more than what I could have asked for.
Yeah.
It wasn't just about the performance. It was everything.
No, it was everything. I mean, the Troubadour is a legendary spot. I mean,
right. Elton John did his thing, right?
Yeah, Elton John played, I think, his first U.S. Show ever. He made his debut in America at the Troubadour.
And you know how I know that?
How?
I mean, besides watching the movie. Leo Quinones, who was my guest, he does a tour in Hollywood.
Oh, cool.
So, if you ever want to go, I mean, he'll hook it up, man. And he talks about that
sick.
night at the because he passes by the Troubadour and other places in Hollywood. But the Troubadour is legendary.
Yeah, so I mean, already being there and playing on that stage that so many of my heroes have played on was one thing, but then there's a marquee on the outside and it's lit up, and I've seen so many names on there, and just to see my name on it with John Oates was surreal. I just kept staring at it as I was walking up to the venue for sound check, and I was just like, what? Whose life am I living right now? It was surreal. And I was also like, what year is it? It's 2025, and I'm opening for John Oates at the Troubadour. I felt like I was in 1975.
Right.
Crazy. Yeah.
I thought of you because Dave Matthews Band did a 3-night stint at the Gorge up in Washington,
Yeah, recently?
Recently.
I had friends open for him there.
So there's this Stella and but there's another duo.
Yeah, Oscar and Julia.
That you know them?
Yeah, they're my friends.
Oh my gosh! So Dave did a little Instagram thingy, right?
Yeah,
where he's on the side of the stage and he's like, check this band out.
Yes.
They're sound checking.
Yeah,
and they sound phenomenal.
They're incredible. Yeah,
and that it was because Dave posted that, and I had no idea who they were, but I could hear her voice.
Oh man!
And I'm like, wow, they sound good. So I Googled them and I started listening to their music. And, dude.
I can't wait to tell them about this.
Oh, man.
Yeah, we played a gig together years ago in Hollywood, and I didn't know them, but I thought that they were incredible. I mean, people don't play the guitar like that anymore, and they don't sing like that, and they don't write songs like that. It's very rare. They are polished without any production. I mean, they're just naturally good. They could come in this room right now and blow you away, and I think it's so special.
I can feel that.
Oh yeah, they're great.
They're kind of outside our time a little bit,
I love that. I mean, I am always inspired by people like that, and when I see people like that today, I feel like, oh, there's there's more of us out there, you know?
Yeah, and when I say they're kind of out of our time, it's a huge compliment for me because I feel like there's a certain soul, that people have when you're timeless.
Right. And they also pull from like jump swing, which is like 20s, 40s music. Like they know their history and they love all of that. And, I think we're all around the same age, late 20s, early 30s. So it's amazing to see that. And then for Dave to be like, yes, I recognize that and I want them to open for me. I was so proud of them. And we were just talking because they were like, dude, you opened for John Oates. I was like, dude, you opened for Dave Matthews. We're talking just the other day about it.
Yeah, when I was watching on Facebook or something like that and I saw them actually perform at the Gorge, they performed so confidently. It was like, it wasn't like, oh my gosh, we're performing for Dave Matthews Band. No, I mean, they owned it.
No, they're polished. They've been doing it for a while. They've been paying their dues. So for something like this to happen to them, not surprising. And the fact that they crushed it up there, also not surprising.
What is it about artists today? And maybe this is like the American Idol effect. And, here's my question as far as, musicians and artistry goes. It's, I hear a lot of belting.
Yeah.
I hear a lot of belting and a lot of power in the voice, but it's too much now. And I feel like everybody's just trying to reach those edges to see how far they can push the voice.
Yeah.
And in my humbled opinion, I feel like sometimes, and I won't name artists, but sometimes these artists overpower their own music, to the point to where like there's some artists like you and others who collab with the music. You become one.
Sure.
There's other artists, like especially in pop, who here's my powerful voice and here's a song underneath. And you could feel that disassociation kind of like, right? Why is that so popular these days, in your opinion?
Well, I think the difference is thinking about what you're saying. Sometimes it's easy to go on autopilot and you just you wrote the song, you just get up and you just perform it and you're not really there. I think if you can connect with why you wrote the song in the first place, if you can connect with the lyrics that you're saying,
the emotion,
I think that's how you become one with it. You have to be aware of it. And, people that have been performing for years and years and years that perform the same songs over and over again, it's very easy to go on autopilot. But I do think if you can stay grounded and present and connected to yourself and the emotion of the song, I think the balance happens.
I want to say congratulations, man, for the Troubadour show because
thank you.
I mean that. That's such a big deal. And I saw Dylan Chambers and I sent it to Michelle.
Yeah.
And, part of me was like so happy for you. And the other part of me was like, I can't believe I freaking missed it.
Oh, dude.
I would have bought it. I don't care about the money or how much it costs. But it's so hard to keep up with everybody. And that's the issue, It's like,
I get it.
And by the way, if there's a Dylan Chambers newsletter, I need to sign up.
Well, there's a mailing list.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, but dude, I play a lot, and you're always more than welcome to come to anything. It's not like that was the last show I'll ever do. So
but also I want to shoot that invite to like some friends, and that way we kind of all trek over there, and because
for sure,
I want to show off my buddy Dylan, and
I appreciate it, man.
This is Dylan here, man. He's pretty freaking phenomenal.
Thank you.
Also, Jazzy K is here, and she's only here for I think another month. Have you met Jazzy K before?
No.
Okay, I want to introduce you to her.
Great.
Maybe we could do lunch or dinner in LA.
Yeah, would love that.
And she's a phenomenal pop artist. Here's what's crazy and relatable, I think, to you doing John Oates is she got to open up for freaking Coldplay.
Whoa. That's pretty big.
At the stadium in Sydney.
That's your favorite, right?
Yeah, they're my favorite.
Yeah, you're a big Coldplay guy.
I mean, it's hard to say that now with their new music, but
okay.
But I love Chris, and the band
for sure.
But she I guess they have this new song, and she came out to sing with Chris during the Coldplay show.
Incredible. Wow.
It's called We Pray.
Okay.
And she killed it, man.
That's great.
Killed it. So I got to introduce her to her and her dad, and they're just the sweetest people in the world, and she's very talented. So I think you would respect that, and you would like them.
I love meeting fellow creative people in any field. So I'm down, man. I appreciate that.
So what else have you done to catch me up? Because it's been a lot.
So I guess in the past year, I finished up a new EP. That's coming out. And let's see, I went on tour supporting a band called Ripe. They're a great pop soul band. And that was really awesome. I did an East Coast run with them.
Nice.
and they were a blast. And so I did that. Let's see. I went to, where did I go? I went to Iceland and Norway. I was on a music cruise again. And I performed on, so the Dave Koz music cruise, I did that. It was awesome. First time over there. And let's see, I just got back from Spokane, Washington, where I performed at Alan Stone's music festival. It's called Stone Family Field Trip. Oh, dude, it was incredible. I mean, I love Alan. I respect Alan. I've been enjoying his music for the past decade. So to, get a nod from him, to get asked to come out there and play his music festival that he curated with so many other great artists who I also love and listen to. Right. It was surreal. It was very special. And it's in the forest, and you're just surrounded by nature.
Wow.
And, there's like probably 1,000 to 1,500 people that come out, and just everyone's having a good time. And, man, it was truly, truly incredible. So
you know how I know about Alan Stone?
How?
It was actually, I think Alan Stone was either opening for or performing side by side with Dave Matthews Band.
Yes, that's right. He did. I think he did open for Dave, which totally makes sense to me.
It was like a special occasion thing or something, and I was like, wow, this is awesome.
Yeah. Alan also went on tour with Daryl Hall and John Oates before they split.
Wow.
It was Alan Stone opening, then Tears for Fears second, or was it them? Or no, sorry. Alan, Blood, Sweat, and Tears. There's too many Tears bands, I guess. Alan, Blood, Sweat, and Tears, then Daryl Hall and John Oates. I mean, an amazing bill.
Yeah.
You got two legacy acts, and then for Alan to get that spot, I mean, rightly so, very well deserved, but how cool that he got to do that too.
Jeez.
He's on tour opening for Chris Stapleton right now.
Is he?
Yeah, I saw him at the Hollywood Bowl. I went twice.
Wait, when is Chris Stapleton doing LA shows? Did we miss it already, or is he coming back?
So this was, I think earlier in the year that I saw this, but Alan's on the road with Chris Stapleton now, but he's kind of been on the road for like 2 years on and off with Chris. So
I wonder if they're coming back to SoCal.
It would be cool if so. I'm not 100% sure.
Because Chris Stapleton's been on my to must see.
Oh, dude, you got to see him. He's so good.
Another person with soul.
Yes. Oh, so much soul.
And again, I don't know what I'm drawn to. Just Yeah, I guess, Dylan, and you know me, I guess I'm just kind of an emotional guy.
Sure.
It's not even that I love artists, because that's so pretentious to say. I just love people who are so in tuned with their inner self that they're able to communicate, convey how they feel.
I feel you on that.
Or what they feel. And, that's a gift.
Absolutely.
Because not everybody can communicate that,
Yeah, not a lot of people can get there with themselves, to be that inward. So I feel you, and I don't think that's pretentious to say or anything.
I think, because here's an example. When I watch, say for example, there's a difference between Coldplay and Morrissey, almost on two opposite sides of the spectrum.
Yeah, for sure.
But what the magic of Morrissey is, it's a twofold. Number one, no other artist that I have seen has been able to create a world or atmosphere around them and their show in the present more powerful than Morrissey.
Yeah.
Because the moment you walk in, it's the smells, it's the odd music videos that are playing while you're looking for your seat.
Yeah.
It's like you're in a weird world and you're a little bit uncomfortable because you're like, what is this?
Yeah.
But when Morrissey walks on stage, it makes complete sense. It's curated.
Yeah, for
everything
sure.
is. And it's those feelings and a lot of people feel that way. And it's a world that you're in temporarily.
That's right.
But some people have this magnetic aura when they walk on stage, and Morrissey has that.
Yeah.
And I saw that, and I'm like, I think I was more odd, and that's why I think, somebody like Morrissey doesn't need lasers and lights and, fire and this. It's very simple.
Yeah.
And it's really it comes down to the guy, the man.
Yes.
Whereas Coldplay, their music kind of communicates to all generations.
Right.
And they're able to touch kind of everybody from point A to point Z, which is also rare and very hard to do, but they've been able to do it.
That's right.
And so their lights, how do you say it? It brings life to their music, right?
For sure.
It works hand in hand.
Yeah.
It doesn't distract. It works. It amplifies their music, and vice versa.
Yeah,
and that's why it works. Works for Coldplay. I don't know what I was getting at here, but I guess the whole point is every artist is different, and the ones who got real soul, man, I tell you, sometimes I feel like a record label's great.
Yeah.
But a lot of these artists nowadays are doing it without a label.
That's right.
Luke Bryan, no, not Luke Bryan, Luke Combs.
Yeah.
Didn't he do it without just by going viral on TikTok first before he blew up?
I think so. Yeah. I just saw something about him where he was talking about that. I believe that's true. Yeah. I mean, you don't have to have a label today. You definitely have the reins, and that has a lot to do with, the way that the world is right now.
But does it help?
Well, I think it depends. I think that, obviously labels have budgets. They have connections that maybe you don't have.
Right.
So sure, it can be good for certain people. And then, it can be great to be completely in control when you're independent. Some people don't like having the reins. They like to kind of be told what to do, and because it can be scary. I mean, I'm speaking as an independent artist, and I've got the reins. But
I'm glad you brought that up. I want to ask you then.
Yeah, sure.
I just landed a one-year sponsor, which
yes, dude, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah,
but it's still, even before or even after, it feels like this project is, while you can put music together and it's an excellent product, because Dylan, that's the kind of artist you are.
Thank you.
And when I put a podcast together, I'm going to try to do the best that I possibly can to get it out there.
Right.
But even so, you have a good product. When you're independent, it feels like I guess the difference is this: when you're working for the machine or the label, there's a clear goal ahead of you, or a clear pinnacle or mountaintop that you want to be at.
Right.
Because you can compare yourself to, you want, I see this artist doing this, I want to do that.
Yeah.
Or
Sure.
I've always known that this is my goal here and I want to be there.
Uh-huh.
But when you're independent, sometimes that pinnacle is thick in the fog.
Yeah.
And you're on this long bridge, and halfway to the other side is nothing but fog.
Yeah.
And that's a very scary thing, isn't it?
Yes, it definitely can be. And it's not to say that I don't feel fear and uncertainty. I've just learned that is a part of my life. That is a part of what I chose to do. So therefore, I've sort of, rather than letting it get in the way of things, I observe it, I watch it, and then I don't follow through with it. I think a way to defeat fear is to do the opposite of what it's telling you to do. I think that's the only natural way. So if it's saying stop because you don't know what's on the other side, go on the other side.
Right.
And then fear, it leaves the room, That's
a good point.
The contrast is always going to be there.
Yeah.
The resistance is always going to be there. But I don't know. I'm just like, do it anyway. I don't, what else can you do?
Yeah.
Just let it win.
Right.
Stop, go in a hole and never do what you feel like your purpose is.
Well, okay, here's what I wanted to share with you, I guess, over dinner, but
Sure.
we'll use a podcast for it.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Okay. So when I was at KISS, right, or whatever,
right,
I had a clear goal in mind. In fact, I think KISS was the goal. So I mean, I was already living it, but even then, it was like I want to do this. I see myself in this time slot, Monday through Friday, plus the syndicated show on the weekend, and this and that.
Right.
And now with this podcast, I mean, sure, the possibility is endless. And sure, if you look at, the stock market graph of the podcast, it zigzags, slowly up.
Sure.
But I wonder how, as an artist or as a creative, sometimes I think, am I delusional? Am I making this up a little bit? And I and I'm going to be so vulnerable, but
no,
sometimes
please.
I think, is everybody just, saying, "Oh, Freddie, you're trying, buddy. You know what? It's a great podcast. It's great." And I'm like, all right, well, is it like, how do I? And sometimes I also think, Dylan, I'm tired of looking like I'm trying. I just want to be. Does that make sense?
Yes, and I have felt that before too. And I think the subtle shift in that is than just be. Like when you think of yourself as trying, what does that mean? We're always trying. Who isn't trying? But there's a being, like a confidence in the trying, I guess, that turns into, this sounds very meta, but like the being is sort of a little shift. It's like turning the dial a little bit. We're never not trying, but
right.
I understand what you're saying. I think that there is just an acceptance that happens where it's like, for example, I used to go, man, I really want to be an artist. I want to go out to LA and so I can try to be an artist.
Yeah.
I'm like, you are an artist. What does that mean?
Right.
What is trying to be something? Just be it. You know, someone told me before, like, wear the mask until it becomes your face. Just, you know what I mean? The more you do it, the more, and you absolutely are. There is no trying. Like when I look at your credentials and how long I've even known you, I'm like, what the hell are you even talking about? But I understand the feeling. I get that.
It is. Yeah. It's a scary thing, especially in today's world. But, you know, I was talking to one of my coworkers and she, I'm not going to, put her on blast here, but,
sure.
You know, it's a tough world we're living in, you know,
of course.
And to have been living a life for the machine.
Yeah. Right.
There's clear night and day.
Yeah.
You're either doing really well or you're doing bad. You're either climbing up a rung or you're sliding down.
Yeah.
You know the trajectory you're on.
Right.
But when you're independent, it's fun. It's exciting.
Yeah.
And I'd prefer a more exciting life than, a pencil pusher, type of life.
Yeah, I get it.
But it's scary as hell, man.
It is. And it's hard to measure where you're at.
Exactly.
I understand that.
Yeah.
I do that too. I'm just like, I don't know how to make sense of where I am in my career. Some people are like, dude, you're crushing it and you're this and blah, blah, blah. You're famous. I'm like, I'm not famous. I don't know. Like I'm doing what I love and I feel that I'm progressing. And, I think it's a matter of defining exactly what it is that you want. And, success, I used to think when I was younger, success was climbing Mount Everest and standing at the top going, I made, it's that.
Yeah.
But I think that's like in the movies. I think that's how it's portrayed in culture.
Right.
And I think we all think that. But then there's something that I think needs to happen when you're on an artistic path is to go, how do I define success? What is that for me? When will I feel like I made it? Because I'm sure there's lots of people out there who unanimously, me and you would go, they made it. And they don't think they have.
Exactly.
Because they never defined what it is that making it is, right?
You ever notice that? Like when you work with a legend, for example, like in the past, or you finally meet this person that you've always looked up to your whole career and you're like, wow, you're huge. I can't believe I'm meeting you. Yeah. And if you get too close to them, you see the insecurities and you begin to realize, wow, like, whoa, don't you realize that you're this?
Yeah, well, it's hard for people to do that because you are you, it's like you have your brain. I can't see what you see. You can't see what I see. We live within ourselves.
Right.
And that perspective is different.
Right.
It's like, that's tough, but I don't know. I've just kind of tried to learn to accept that. And I'm like, I don't understand anything. I'm just going to keep moving forward and the ground will form underneath me because I think that's what it has been doing all these years.
Well, the reason why I even asked you and brought this up is because if I saw Dylan Chambers looking like he's a trying artist, there would have been no purpose for me to bring this up because, what we're talking about here is kind of, wisdom, right?
I understand.
But I see Dylan Chambers as just being and freaking rocking out. And I'm like, this is the right person to talk to. So it is a compliment to you because Dylan, I'm proud of you, bro. Because
thank you.
You're killing it, man.
Thanks, man.
Because the perception is reality, but the reality of it is you're actually really killing it.
Thank you. I appreciate it, man. I feel like, to relay it back to what you were saying, I think there were a lot of years where I felt like I was trying, because you do go through a period of trying, it's trial and error and you learn things and you fail and, all that. But I think in getting older and doing this for, many years now, you kind of just drop this attitude of like, screw it. Like, I'm so all in. I'm too far here to ever do anything else. So I'm just going to do it. I'm going to do it. And I'm going to run off the cliff waving my flag saying I'm doing, and I'm like, man, that actually feels really good rather than being like, am I doing it? Am I trying?
Right.
Don't be wobbly. You know what I'm saying?
Just full on commitment.
Yeah. Just why not?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's wild. I was thinking about it too as you were talking, and how we met back at the. Hold on, don't tell me the name of it. Hold on, I'll think of it right now.
Yeah.
It's a club off. I think it was Cahuenga. Was it Cahuenga?
It was on Wilcox, and it's not there anymore.
It's not?
No, it's shut down.
What was it called?
It was called Sayers.
Sayers.
Yeah.
Of course, it's shut down. Like everything else, great in LA.
I know. Yeah.
So, wow, what's there now? Is it anything?
I don't think so. I think they're still looking to fill the space. But yeah, I know. Every time I walk past it, I'm like, wow, like my whole life, I remember this chapter.
That's cool. Yeah, I remember being in a very tiny closet. With BB Rexa.
in Sayers?
At Sayers.
Makes sense. Yeah.
I was doing an interview for her for radio.
Oh, okay.
And she was about to go on, but I don't know why. I think it was too loud.
Okay.
So they stuck us in a closet to do the interview.
All right.
I think that's why we were doing it. In the
I love that.
It was awesome. BB was great, and
cool.
it was cool seeing you guys perform live.
Yeah.
I remember sitting next to Candace Cameron Bure.
Yeah. Right.
And she's a friend of yours.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't talked in a little while, but we connect on Instagram still. But yeah, there was a chapter, back when I was kind of more involved with Dancing with the Stars because my friends have been on it and that whole history. But yeah, I met her because she was my friend's partner on the show for a minute. So
wow,
yeah, I remember that era. She was there. All those people. Yeah,
that was cool,
sure.
right?
Yeah, it was so cool. Yeah.
Has you live in Hollywood, but has LA or Hollywood changed for you? As a resident and as an artist, I guess, since then.
Oh, yeah. Well, I feel like I spent a good 5 or 6 years being starstruck by everything and everyone. Again, I'm a guy that grew up in Texas, and then to just kind of throw myself out into the LA Hollywood universe and to start falling into these circles. And you remember, like, from meeting me, like, the people I was hanging out with, all that kind of stuff. I mean, that was a lot for, someone that wasn't even of age yet.
That's right. That's right. You couldn't even drink, huh?
No.
Wow.
I'm not even 21 and I'm playing these shows. I'm, hanging out with people who are well-established, well-known. They've got a lot more money than I do, things like that. It was surreal. I kept feeling like I had imposter syndrome, it was, but I think, I don't feel that way anymore. But I think that's the big shift. Like,
right.
I had a lot of imposter syndrome when I first moved here. And I still do at times, but it's not as loud as it used to be. It's kind
of the fun though, right? Of being in the industry is sometimes you still kind of have to be starstruck with
totally.
Some people.
I just feel comfortable. I feel more comfortable with who I am. I feel more comfortable with the music I make. I feel like I've been in the laboratory as like a mad scientist figuring this out for a while. And I'm glad that it is where it is. And so I just feel better. And I'm married now. My wife and I live together. I'm
That's cool,
older. LA's
How
nice.
long you been married?
About 2 years now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. That's right.
Yeah, man.
Wow. And it's right. You brought up Texas too, and I'm like, hold on. How did I forget about that?
Yeah.
You're a Texas boy.
Yeah, man.
At heart.
Yeah.
When I finally moved out of LA, out of Hollywood.
Yeah.
Here's the one crazy funny thing that I learned. I never realized how many trust fund kids that are running amok in Hollywood.
Oh yeah, sure.
It's wild because it took me a minute to register the fact that you're like, wait, so you don't pay your rent? Who pays your rent? So, mom and dad pay your rent.
Yeah.
They're from New Jersey. Oh, okay. So, what do you tell? Oh, because you're about to get the parts. I see how this is played. Yeah. You're smart, You're smart. Hey, if it works, it works.
Totally. Yeah. It can be pretty political and, there's so many reasons why some people can survive out in LA and others can't.
Hey, I got to give credit where credit's due. If you can make that happen, more power to you, I guess,
Sure, it's about staying in it, man.
Yeah, all right.
Not always the easiest, but yeah.
Yeah, it's changed a lot too, I guess, in a way where, from what I hear, the nightclub scene, and this is, I think, probably a small part of why the economy in Vegas isn't doing as well as expected.
Right.
Is, well, of course, it costs a lot of money to live and stay, but it also costs a lot of money to play. Yeah. What is it, $21 a drink now?
I think so, something like that. That's crazy.
I know. That's a lot. I mean, if you're on a day, you're going to spend at least $200, easily. Yeah. It's a lot of money. It really is. but you get to meet a lot of these artists who some of them are on one side of the spectrum who are, extreme John Oates, right?
Yeah, right.
And no problem.
Yeah.
Because he's a legend. You know, he's
absolutely.
been in the game, paid his dues, and he's his name. He's a legend.
Yes.
Then there are starving artists, and you were a starving artist who already had the perception that you were a star. It was the way you played. It was something about it, Dylan. And I'm telling you, I remember it distinctly.
That's
on that stage.
That's very nice of you to say.
I wish, in fact, is there a clip? Is there any kind of footage of you performing at the Sierras Club?
Probably, yeah. I think so. I haven't looked in a while, but yeah.
Okay,
sure.
if I can make a clip of this at some point, we'll do that.
Okay, great,
to see you perform live, man. And I know that won't. It doesn't always convey on digital or on the phone, but man,
yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about. I guess the opportunity. Where can we see you perform? What's coming up for you? Because I know the new EP, is it out?
Yeah, a brand new EP that I've been working on for a while. It's called Dreaming in Technicolor.
Okay.
And I've released a few singles from it now.
Nice.
And I believe it's a 6-song record. And rooted in soul and pop, early rock and roll a little bit. And super proud of it. And really just wanted to focus on just having good songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I tell everybody that I heard it already, or?
Yeah, of course, man.
Okay,
yeah.
So
I remember I sent it to you.
Dude, it was awesome.
Thanks, man.
Awesome.
Thank you. Yeah.
You've kind of your sound has changed a little bit. It's matured.
Yeah, sure.
It's different. How do you feel about it?
I feel good about it. I really respect artists that are ever changing, but don't lose the core of who they are. I think it's one thing in today's society to just reinstate who you are over and over again.
Right.
All the songs sound the same. 15 years go by and it's still the same. Sure, but and I've been in my head about that before too. But then I think about my heroes, and then I think about the all-time greats. I think about the Beatles, and I think about how much they evolved and changed and never did the same thing twice. And easier said than done, but I just try to follow my heart. Again, I'm not signed to a label. I have the reins. I can do whatever I want. And I love so much music. I have so much influence that sometimes I just move on to something else, but it's still very much rooted in me. I don't feel like I've made a complete 360. I'm growing,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that you got invited to John Oates,
dude,
home in Nashville.
Yeah. Come on. That'll be awesome. I hope it happens.
It's like what happens if say so many different possibilities for you, Dylan, and it's exciting just to be where you're at.
Thanks, man. I feel that, and I appreciate you saying that. I don't know how to measure it. All I know is that things feel good right now, and I'm grateful that they do. There's been a long time where things didn't feel so good, but I'm just riding that right now, and there's a lot of contrast in this life, but I feel good right now.
When you go on tour now, like not the cruise, but like when you go on tour like at the East Coast or doing festivals, how chaotic is it? Or is everything pretty seamless?
So far, yes. Everything's been pretty good. There hasn't been too many hiccups or anything that I can recall. Sometimes this is dumb, petty stuff, but it might be like, oh, the food's not there yet and you're hungry. You were waiting to get the food so you could eat and feel energized before you go on stage. These are little things. It's like not the end of the world. But so far I've been pretty fortunate with all of that. Yeah.
In this point in your career, do you have a rider?
Do I have a rider?
Yeah.
It's not anything crazy.
Okay. I was just wondering, like at what point do you start to say, hey, I want, blue M&Ms and this and this and that? And
so the reason I've learned that people put insane things on the rider is because they want it. That's to confirm that people actually read it. So they'll say a blue M&M, blah, 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 whatever. It's not like they really just want that.
Right.
That would confirm that they read it. You know what I mean? So some people will be like, I want a puppy in my room. Right. You know what I mean? Like things like that. And this is like, pretty big artists. And, some people like Frank Sinatra and stuff had like the craziest riders. And it's fun. You can look them up and just read them. Like Van Halen had a really insane rider.
Let me look at Frank Sinatra's.
Okay. Yeah.
It was, I think it was on Facebook.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I feel like there was some gnarly stuff on there.
Here we go. It says, it has to have, the room must contain carpet, adjustable climate control, running water, a toilet facility, shower, full-length mirror, dressing area.
All right. Does any of that sound crazy to you yet?
No, not at all.
All right.
A large couch. Of course, you got to have a couch and some plants because, there's something about greenery. You need tranquility. You need calm.
I get it. Sure.
You need calm.
Yep.
Flower arrangement. It's nice to have flowers because, flowers bring good energy to the room.
That's true. Yes. Okay.
Telephones. Well,
back then.
Telephones.
Yeah.
Let's see. A medical doctor. There's nothing crazy here on this one. This is a bad example. But,
okay. Look up Van Halen's. I feel like they had a crazy one. We got to find one that's a little crazy.
Yeah.
I like that we're dissecting riders.
This is the M&Ms.
Oh, is it? Okay.
I think so.
This is where it started, maybe?
All right.
Okay.
Okay, the only thing it says about them is they don't want any brown M&Ms. And it says, warning, absolutely no brown M&Ms.
Warning?
Yes, warning.
Wonder why.
I don't know. Let me see if I can pull up.
All right.
Okay, so here's Van Halen. It says, one breakfast for 8 people at 6 a.m., followed by another at 8:30 for 20 people. If feasible, said breakfast should be hot and cooked and will feature 4 cases of soda, 4 gallons of milk, 2 gallons of chocolate milk, 2 dozen English muffins, 2 dozen raisin muffins, 3 loaves of whole wheat bread, 1 dozen hard-boiled eggs, assorted cereals, and more.
Okay.
And then it says 2 cases of beer, Heineken and Budweiser, with dinner, and 2 or more of those cases given to producers, stage managers at 7 p.m. There are more food and booze requirements for the band outside of the meals, along with a request for a large tube of KY jelly.
I wonder what that's for. Yeah.
Okay, let's see.
I'm going to start putting KY jelly on my rider.
Right, yes.
Yeah. I mean, if Van Halen could.
You need some oil massage, the things back there to relax.
Yeah, exactly.
Motley Crue. You want to hear about Motley Crue?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, here we go.
All right.
Okay, so they would request 12-foot boa constrictors. What are that? What's that?
Like the snake, dude.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
A jar of creamy peanut butter, some Grey Poupon mustard, and a submachine gun.
What?
In case they want to close. Oh, and in case they got close to wanting another drink, they needed to know the location of the nearest Alcoholics Anonymous meeting that night.
Wow. I mean, that's pretty responsible.
Right.
But to put that on a rider is so interesting.
I know.
Wow. All right.
Okay, you want to hear Iggy Pop?
Yeah. Oh, man. All right.
Let's see. A location of speakers and amplifiers, colorful anecdotes about them all, including Santiago de Compostela, 2 dedicated and intensely loyal security men, strong tea, coffee, assorted enormous pizzas, bread, baguettes, fruit, chocolate. Again, none of this is anything too crazy.
Yeah,
here.
but it's like a little bizarre.
Oh, here we go.
Okay.
Here we go.
Okay.
Leave it up to Mariah Carey.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
What does she want?
This statement is backed by her trip to celebrate Christmas in London a few years back. The Phantom, pink carpet, security, and entourage, but 20 white kittens, 100 doves. A source told the Daily Mail, we did manage to source the doves that we were going to release into the sky, but the kittens proved terribly difficult.
What? Like, why?
Full list of items: a Rolls Royce, a pink carpet, pink podium, confetti-shaped butterflies. Okay, that makes sense if it's part of the show.
Okay, yeah, if it's part of the show, I guess.
80 security guards and 15-person entourage.
What a weird reality to have. Wow. That's crazy to me.
Well, here's a fun question. Okay,
all right.
So you're a megastar, right?
Okay.
You are you are on like Frank Sinatra level at this point, okay? Deep into your life and career.
All right.
What is the one crazy thing you want to have on your rider?
What's a crazy thing I want to have on my rider?
What would you have on what's the one crazy thing you would have on your rider? Like for me, I'm trying to think.
Yeah. Yeah, you start. It'll inspire me.
Broguer's chocolate milk. You remember Broguers? It comes in that glass.
Yeah, it's like pretty fancy schmancy chocolate milk.
It's exactly. And it's just, I don't know why, but there's a kid in me who just would love to have a nice glass of chocolate milk.
Yeah, that's cool. I think I'd want something really random, like a stack of 90s Beanie Babies.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know, just something to make sure they read it. Yeah. Also, I'd be rich. Well, if I'm at that point where I can request that and people would find that for me, I guess I would already be rich. But yeah.
I'm trying to think what else I would like to have. Maybe like like some olive trees in the corner.
Okay. Yeah.
Some
potted already, like from the ground. They bring it in
about 5 feet tall to make sure that they're not taller than me because then I'm so short.
Sure. Right. Yeah. What else? That's tough. Yeah, because I don't like. I think when people do things like that, I think it's like kind of ridiculous, Like I know. I'm not like, like when I get there, this is what. But it is fun to just like imagine it.
I'll tell you what. If I'm going to be picky, I'm going to say no blue M&Ms.
Okay, good.
Here's a reason. There's a reason for that.
Okay, what is that?
Blue is the newest color of the M&M, family, right?
Okay,
they brought it out like I was a decade ago or 2 decades ago when it came out. Maybe 2 decades ago. But every rotten M&M, like where the shell doesn't complete, is always a blue.
Really?
It's always. I mean, sometimes it'll be like a brown or a red, but most of it, whenever like I pop an M&M blindly, right, like in a movie theater.
Yeah.
There's one that always doesn't taste good. Yeah. Because it didn't form correctly or there's something wrong with it.
Right.
It's always a blue M&M.
I wonder what the science is behind that.
There's got to be something. But yes. Yeah. Maybe we'll chat GPT later on. But,
I would like that. Yeah.
So no blue M&Ms for me.
Okay. Makes sense. I get it. Yeah. That was fun.
I enjoyed
that rabbit hole. That was cool. I like that.
Yeah. Are you an only child or how many brothers and sisters you got?
I am an only child.
Okay, that's what we had in common.
That's right, because you are too. Yeah. I remember we were talking about that.
And we were talking about, what was it? You asked me a really good question, and it was like the need to express yourself.
Yeah, why do you do what you do? Why do you think, was it that?
Yes.
So we were getting philosophical.
Why do you do what you do?
Yeah.
It is interesting, though, because... as we're getting older, and and here's the thing about getting older, I love it. I love it, Dylan, because
great.
I like who I am the older I get versus the younger.
And why is that?
It's a good question. I think I'm more me and more comfortable being me. And like you said, this goes on, goes off of what you said earlier. You're like, at some point you just, this is me and I'm running with it. I'm going to jump off the cliff with my flag waving it and I'm going all in.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this is, I can't be anything else. I mean, I guess I could try, but I'm done trying.
There's that trying again. Yeah. So therefore, I think, there comes a point where you accept who you are and where you are. But, I think it's always important to try and better yourself, no matter what.
Of course.
But
absolutely.
I think the nature of who we are, that is a thing that just is, and when you accept that, you're like, all right, there's like a soul, it's like, I am this, I have this. That doesn't change really,
Well, because as an artist, like you said, you were, you're starstruck sometimes when you first moved to Hollywood.
Oh yeah.
And you have this unique personality. You just moved to Hollywood.
Yeah.
And you're trying to make your way in this, the circuit of musicians and artists. And you see everybody's one way, and at least the way I would look at it is like, man, I'm not like any of them, but you realize that you have something that you can offer that's unique, and you find your way to add to that. Instead of being somebody else, you integrate yourself, your true self, into the circuit, into the circle. And people like you for that.
Sure, I think that's true, and I think you learn a lot about who you don't want to be as the years go by. You see that reflected by other people, and you go, I don't know if I want to be like that. I don't know if I want to have that attitude. And then there's some people that you go, I'd like to be more like them. That a lot of contrast out in LA.
Well, I mean, that. Here's the thing. It does remind me of that one time when I, and this is, I hate to talk about it, because it's really tough.
Yeah, go ahead if you want.
This is one time where I feel like somebody offered cocaine to you.
I wasn't expecting you to bring it up. Yes, they did.
And everybody was like, who was that?
Yeah.
And nobody got it right. Everybody who DM'd me, no one got it right.
Well, yeah, because of course they did. Yeah.
Which is bizarre, but that's the story. Do you want to reiterate? You don't have to tell me who it is, but do you want to reiterate the story? What happened? So
yeah, when I was like 19 or something, and I was working with a former manager at the time, and he said, "Man, you got to meet so and so. I'd love to bring you over to his place. He's got a really beautiful property in Malibu, and you know, he'll love you. You know, maybe we can get him to produce you or something." And I was like, "Cool, wow, all right." So yeah, I did it, and you know, sat down on a couch in his studio, played some of my songs, and you know, he was like, "That's cool, man. That's great stuff." Yeah. So, you know, how old are you? And I think, 18, 19. I said that, and he said, "Yeah, that's great." You know, he's like, "I can tell though, because you have no edge." And and he said, "Yeah, man, have you ever done any drugs? Because that'll give you an edge." And I thought he was kidding, and so I kind of was like going along with him, making jokes. And then he was like, "No, like I'm talking about cocaine, like that. You should really do that. That'll give you an edge." And I know we talked about that last time on the podcast. People really enjoyed that. I got some messages about that too. And yeah, I mean, because it is so bizarre. Honestly, Freddie, I've had a lot of very bizarre things happen to me in my time in LA. And my friend and I, we talk about it. She's an artist, and I've seen some weird situations happen to her as well. And we're weirdo magnets. I don't know what it is. You know, we just attract.
I guess so. I guess so.
It could be that. It's also LA. You know, it's just, I don't know, man.
It's a little bit of everything though, because an artist is very true and closer to their, you know, being vulnerable more than everybody else. And sometimes, you know, we wear hard, and weirdos tend to gravitate towards that, you know. And I think about, there's this one guy.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I'm going to keep this part on the podcast.
All right.
But every time I upload a story, this person is like, within a split second, sees it. Okay. Whether it's 11 a.m., 7 p.m., or at 3:45 in the morning. Yeah.
Well, I really like your content, Freddie. I can't, you know, I just think it's great. I'm obsessed with it.
If it was just you, but it's so weird because it's like, how are you awake all the time? When do you sleep? But it's like
cocaine,
boom, right there.
Yeah,
exactly. There you go. Come full circle.
That's probably it.
But it's weird. It is a little bit weird, and sometimes you know, and as a radio DJ, you know, we're like probably the lowest form of celebrity, if that's even the case. And it's weird. So I can only imagine, you know, with artists who actually have a real following, you know, what that could be like. 'Cause that could be scary.
Yeah, it can be. I remember when I was younger, I was just very open. You know, I just would talk to everybody and all that. And some of that got a little weird, you know, so therefore, you know, I retreated a bit because some of it got uncomfortable. And
well, you don't want to stay too open, Dylan, because it's Hollywood after all.
Well, right. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's just,
especially when you're new.
Well, yeah, but you know, I think it's like, I didn't really understand boundaries yet. I didn't really understand that some people want to know everything about you, and they want to be around you all the time. And they, you know, I don't know what it is. They want something that's yours. It can get weird, and I had situations like that. You know,
like what do you mean? Give me an example. Like,
there was a time where you know, there was a person who was interested in what I was doing at the time, also interested in my friend circle and the other artists that I knew. And, you know, she was a fan of some of theirs, and, you know, great personality. We enjoyed her and stuff, but she just would show up to everything, start hanging around. And we started to get maybe like a little too familiar, you know, I'm talking not just me, just like even my friend group. And, you know, one time when I went and I played on the East Coast, she said, "You can stay with me, you know, and then I'll take you into the city a little later. I live out, you know, on the suburbs a little." So I thought nothing of it, and I did. And she said, "You know, you can sleep in my bed." Not with her. This was just she was being very generous. She said, "You can." You know,
so far, okay, everything's
okay. Like I'll stay on the couch again. I said, "Oh well, that's really nice, thank you." Like I was already like, "I'll stay on the couch. It's totally cool." You know, again, this is free. It's like, you know, great. But I woke up to her filming me. She was standing in the doorway with an iPhone and she was filming me. She would pull out her phone and film me a lot, but I thought it was just, you know, at the time it was like, oh, this is like my buddy and stuff.
Right.
But I think that's the problem, dude, is, you know, with iPhones and all this stuff, like you can just film people. You can just do whatever. But I was like in her home and like I was sleeping.
That is really weird.
You know, and like she would just, there were times where she would just start like oversharing with me about her life. And this is when I'm 20, you know, and this is an adult who's, you know, sharing all this and my problems, and she's crying, and you know, it got weird. You know, I've had those situations where you don't realize like you're just letting people in a little too much. And I've learned that lesson.
Because, you know, when you're nice, when you're naturally nice, those lines do blur sometimes.
Yeah. And you got to be careful.
You have to, I think you learn as you get older with experience, you know, that you're like, all right, cool. You know, I'm the nice guy and I'll always be the nice guy, but I have to draw the line here. Because I can see where this might be going.
It's so important. And you just never know what people are up to, you know, even if they come across trustworthy. Sometimes they're unstable. Sometimes they, you know, you just don't know. You don't know.
There's a lot of instability in people, especially in LA, because it draws everybody in. It draws everybody from the whole spectrum.
Well, and the entertainment industry is so fascinating to people, you know, especially to people that aren't in it.
Right.
So sometimes they want to be, you know, even just by like association. Yeah. And that can get weird. And because it is weird, it is weird to be an artist. It is weird to be a person, even like yourself, where you've talked to so many people. Like they want to know those people. And so they really want to talk to you about what were they like? And it just can get weird. It's like almost like they want your business and it's not theirs. You know, it's yours. And boundaries are important in when you're in the entertainment industry, man. It's true.
You know, and a wise uncle once, I want to share this with you. A wise uncle once told me this. He says, everybody that you interlink with, date, or, you know, meet, shapes you to be just somebody just a little bit smarter, just a little bit more experienced, just a little bit more sharper, just a little bit more. And you learn how to, you learn how to route yourself with different personalities on all spectrums. And you kind of have to as an artist in Hollywood.
Yeah, you really do. That's right.
But yeah, you know, life is great though. It's all experience, man. You know, experience on all sides of the spectrum. But
yeah, that's right.
So what else is happening for you? Are you going to be doing a launch party?
I'm not sure. So September. That's right now, September. When we're recording this. It is September. I'm about to go out on the road. I'm doing 2 weeks with my friend Casey Abrams. Do you know Casey? Have you ever met Casey? Casey Basie on Instagram. Casey did.
Oh, I know Casey Abrams. Hello. I haven't seen your social media. That's right.
You know, he's been a friend of mine for a while, and he's doing a Casey Abrams and Friends show, and I am one of the and Friends. So I'm going out, leaving here pretty soon to do some East Coast dates, and then October is when my EP comes out, and right now I'm pretty clear. So I might do that before heading out. I'm opening for this band called Lawrence. They're a big pop soul band. Nice. I'm opening for them in Europe in November. So I'm really excited. They just recently played Fallon, and I mean they're you know John Bellion?
Yes.
John Bellion signed them. Like he's they're one of, I guess I would say they're one of his artists that were on his label.
John is great. So nice.
John's so cool. And man, they're great. Gracie and Clyde Lawrence, they're brother and sister, and absolutely phenomenal musicians. And John Oates is a big fan of theirs too, and actually just collaborated on a song with them together. And so I told John backstage, I'm like, dude, I'm actually going out on the road opening for Lawrence. He was like, get out of here. Like, what a small world.
That's awesome.
So yeah, man. But you know, maybe so in October if there's time, but I'm trying to pace myself. This is the busiest year I've ever had. And I'm very grateful for it, but it's a lot, there's a lot to learn in this too, you know? So.
I was okay.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of, so the first person I was thinking of, I'm like, okay, did you say Gracie? Gracie?
Gracie Abrams? No, I'm not going out on the road with Gracie Abrams. I'm going out on the road with Casey Abrams.
That's J.J. Abrams' daughter, right?
It is, yes.
I barely put two and two together. I'm like,
I just found that out. Yeah.
What a great album she has. What a great song that she has.
Yeah. First time I was really aware of her, saw her perform was at the Fire Aid Festival that happened to raise money for all the wildfires that happened here.
Was that the forum or the?
Yeah, I wasn't there, but I watched the stream. Yeah, and I saw her, and I was like, oh, cool. All right, I've heard her name, just didn't, not fully my world, but
right.
Yeah, it was cool to see her, and yeah.
I think about artists like Bono, right? And I'm just about to my wit's end of defending U2.
Okay.
Because U2 is by far one of the greatest live acts to see ever.
That's what I've heard.
It's practically spiritual.
Yeah,
it's fantastic.
Sure. Well, Bono's pretty spiritual. I mean, he just gives off that energy. He seems very in tune.
He is.
Yeah.
And seeing them at the Sphere when they first opened up was awesome.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
The Rose Bowl when they did that 360 tour.
Yeah.
The Claw stage. Mm-hmm. But Bono, he was recently on Joe Rogan.
Yeah, I listened to it.
Here's where I give credit where credit's due. You have to be brave to go on a podcast of Joe Rogan because you can't really hide anywhere, right?
No,
You're gonna have to be yourself.
Yeah.
I found him to be smarter than I thought.
Yeah.
He's wittier and he's funny.
Yeah.
He's funny.
Yeah, totally.
But I think the issue is that guy name drops so much. I mean, he's like, I was just having dinner with, Desmond Tutu and, and it's so hard for me to just like, the guy is so rich now. It's like, here's the thing, Paul McCartney. Hello. I mean, Paul McCartney's another one like that, except Paul doesn't talk annoying like Bono does.
No, what's interesting to me about Paul is, I mean, I love Paul McCartney. Like Paul is my guy when it comes to the Beatles. Love all the Beatles. Just always really felt something towards Paul.
Yeah.
Paul will do these interviews, and it's almost like he downplays the songs that he wrote sometimes. Like, I mean, you may have seen this, but like he'll be on like a talk show, and someone will be saying like, "So when you wrote, Blackbird, or like, what did you?" He's like, "Oh yeah, and that song kind of goes like Blackbird sing da da da." Like he'll like go like da da da. It's like, no, it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't go like that. It goes, like how you wrote. It's just like it's so funny the way that he. I mean, he's like arguably. I would say he is the biggest musician, songwriter, artist alive. I mean, there is no one, to me, the fact that I am alive while he is, I am honored. Like I look up to him so much. He transcends time and space to me. He is more than just a songwriter. He's beyond. And he's an angel to me. And so when I see him like go on these shows and go, yeah, we kind of did this. And it's like, but also what, I don't know. He seems very humble to me. It's like he's learned to live with this reality that is his life, but also the perception that people put on him. It's like, how do you move through that? That's an astronomical type of life. I don't know how anyone can maneuver through that. I don't know.
I feel like it's also kind of a British thing, isn't it?
It might be.
The British culture tends to downplay and undersell a lot. And if you look at, here's the thing, memoirs, autobiographies.
Right. Yep.
If you read Phil Collins versus, Elton John, he's British too. Like Andre Agassi, or US, or whatever.
Yeah.
Anthony Bourdain, right? There's a bit of raw, I'm going to tell you everything, and whether you like it or not, don't care. This is my life.
Yeah.
This is what's happened to me, right? Yeah. Anthony Kiedis, Red Hot Chili Peppers. Yeah. Same thing. Yep. Give it to you raw, and it's going to be a lot. Yeah. But I hope you can take it, but this is my life. Yeah, yeah. Whereas, like, for example, Phil Collins and British, Morrissey, same way. Like, they'll give you, like, anecdotes and hints. They'll hint at things. Sure. But then they'll maybe throw a pun or a joke. Yeah. Give you one line, and then boom, to the next one. Yeah. They'll always glaze the surface of the story. Maybe give you just enough so you can picture and get an idea. Sure. And then they'll laugh it off. Yeah. And they'll move on. That's a very British thing. I don't know why they do that, but they do. That's true. Speaking of memoirs and stuff, have you read a lot of those? Yeah. What are some of your favorites in terms of musical artists? Yeah. That's a good question.
Yeah, because I read a lot of them too.
It's a very, very good question.
Yeah.
Musicians.
Yeah, any that have stuck out to you?
Yeah, let me think here. Sure. Elton John's was good.
Okay, yeah.
Let's see. I'm trying to think who's been good. So far, I just started Anthony Kiedis. His book,
Scar Tissue?
Scar Tissue.
I read that when I was in high school. Wild, dude.
And I'm barely on chapter 2, but
oh man, just wait. What a life. I mean, and that came out a while ago.
Yeah,
so
it did.
He's lived even more life since then. But yeah, that one really stuck out to me too, man.
What about you?
I mean, Scar Tissue, when I read that, was wild. Yeah, Keith Richards' life was crazy. Who else? I've read. There's an out of print James Brown one, which a lot of people don't know about. And I read that when I was in, I think, junior high, and I still have it. I have the exact copy.
Okay.
And just so wild. Obviously, James Brown was a wild man.
Right. I'll always remember that interview of him.
Oh, it's iconic. Yeah.
When he's talking to the newswoman.
Yeah. Oh, I know it. I can quote the whole thing. Yeah. I do a lot of the time with a lot of my musicians.
And the way he laughs.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So many good quotes from that. Yeah. But yeah. It's so good. It's like playing in my head now. Yeah, but let's see what else. I've read. James Brown's was wild. Flea from the Chili Peppers wrote one.
I hear that
not
one's
too
really
long
good.
ago.
I hear that one's good.
Yeah,
I hear Patti Smith has an excellent.
Yes, Just Friends, so good about her.
You read that one?
Oh yeah, it's about her relationship with the photographer Robert Mapplethorpe, and it's called Just Kids. It's when they were young and they lived in New York and they were living in the Chelsea Hotel, which was like an era and a whole vibe to itself.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that was so beautiful. I've read a lot of her books, and I'm not even too familiar with her music, but her books are great. Actually, Bruce Springsteen has a really great memoir.
Born to Run, or is that what it is?
Yeah, Born to Run. And again, wasn't like the most gigantic Bruce Springsteen fan.
Right.
I know the hits, and there's a couple like songs that aren't hits that I really like too. But his book, it was so good. It's like you're right there. It's like you're reading, and all of a sudden you're in his house, and you're in. He's just such a great writer, and that book was incredible.
That's how I felt about Andre Agassi.
Sure.
I'm not even a sports guy.
Yeah.
But I think it was ChatGPT that told me to read the book.
Yeah.
Because it said it's very introverted.
Okay.
And for people like, I've learned to be both, but you get into the mind of somebody and the way they describe their home, like you said with Bruce Springsteen, it's you become that person for a little while, or at least you see through their lens very vividly. It's pretty cool. So it's not about sports, and it has very little to do with tennis, and it has to do with the man.
Do people ever tell you that you should write a book based off of some of your experiences?
All the time.
Yeah, I get that too.
Yeah, you too?
Yeah.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
I'll tell you where my story would start.
Okay.
And maybe you could share some ideas on yours, but I thought about this. I thought about it for quite a while too.
Okay.
And, they say, you should talk about, what happened to you, Kiss a Femme, and this and that. And
Yeah.
I said, well, here's where the story begins for me.
Mm-hmm.
I was very young, and I'm being driven to Hollywood, Universal. And they're putting makeup on me. I'm backstage, and they're putting the costume on me, and they're saying, all right, Freddie, we're going to walk you in, and we're going to give you the 3, 2, 1. Cameras are going to be rolling, and this and this and that. And I said, I'm ready to rock. Let's do this. Let's rock and roll. And, this is pretty awesome. And finally, they say, Freddie, all right, cameras are rolling. Are you ready to rock on stage?
Yeah.
I peek over, and I see the entire crowd watching. And I said, wait, we have a live audience?
Yeah.
I said, I can't do this. And they're like, well, no, Freddie, this is, you're the guy. You're going to pop out in this part. This is your part. And I said, I can't do this.
Wow.
And I started crying.
Wow.
I was very young, and I started crying, and I said, take me to my mom.
Yeah.
And it was when Universal Studios had a Star Trek little play thing. You probably remember it.
Yeah. No, that sounds familiar. That's great. I love that.
And that's how my book's going to start. Funny.
That's a good starting point for a book.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah, that's nice.
If you or when you have the autobiography or the biography, what would you want it to say about you that people may not know
That's a great question, dude. Well, there's a lot in my life that I haven't talked about yet. There's just kind of really been no reason to. And, I think about my lineage and I think about where I am now. And I feel like, I think about this often. I was born in New Jersey and I lived there for 9 years, and it was just me and my mom. And when I was 9, I moved to Texas, had a stepdad with my mom. And then at 18, I moved to LA by myself. And those 3 chapters of my life, I feel like I was very different. I was like 3 different people. Like I was the person born in New Jersey is very different than the person that, moved to Texas and had his experiences there, and is now very different than the person here in LA. And I think just sharing more of those times in my life, I think they're pretty fascinating. I think, from my perspective, to start off how I entered the world to where I am now, I've gone through a lot and, have done a lot of self-work and learned a lot. And yeah, I just think, one of these days, when I feel ready to share more of that, I think for the people that do know me, they'll be like, "What? Really?"
Right.
But yeah, I don't know.
Or maybe some who understand better, will kind of say, well, some people won't be taken so like wow about it. Some people will just be like, I get it.
Totally. I mean, we're all human and we all experience things.
Very much.
Yeah, totally. I mean, there's just a lot of. I've been journaling. I've kept a journal for a long time, and I
hear that really helps.
It does. I've written down a lot of things because sometimes in the moment I'm like, man, I really want to remember this. I know, in the present moment, I'm like, this is something right here, and I don't want to forget that. And so I try to write it down fresh right after it happens. My experiences being around certain people, my experiences on stage, conversations I've had with family, lots of things. I think I would like to get that out there at some point. Even if it's just like because I want to, just to get it out of me.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people, if not everybody, is going to have a book out about themselves at some point.
I think everyone could write a book. Everyone's lives are fascinating in their own right.
Yeah,
totally.
And it's no secret that most of these celebrity autobiographies have a ghostwriter. Because none of them can, maybe some of them can write well, because some of them are musicians and they write music. But I would say the majority, are, get a ghostwriter. I would get a ghostwriter. I mean, here's the thing. I would get a ghostwriter to collab, but I think I would do most of the writing and maybe they could just, portion it or curate it or whatever. But
totally.
It's a lot of work it's a lot of work in, I think, 2 ways. One, because, it's a lot of work to just write your life, day in and day out.
Yeah.
But then 2 is you become so vulnerable to the outside world, and this is your inside life.
Right.
It's weird.
Yeah, man, it is. I always knew that I wanted to have an adventurous life. I think you were kind of mentioning that too. You're like, I'd rather have an adventurous life than sort of like a cookie cutter life, and to each their own. Some people want a larger experience. Mm-hmm. Some people are fine with not having it. I don't think there's a right or wrong.
Correct.
But I wanted to have an adventurous one. I didn't really know what that would look like, but I do have an adventurous life. I feel like I've checked off a lot of boxes. Mm-hmm. And we may have talked about this last time I was here, but there's always more. We always want more. Mm-hmm. That never goes away. That hole that can never be filled by anything. I think that's in all of us.
Right.
But I think there's more I want to do. There's more I want to experience, but I am content with what I've been able to accomplish. Mm-hmm. I feel grateful. My biggest goal was to become a musician and be able to pay my bills and live my life. And I've been doing that for a decade, and
That's awesome.
Thanks. And I'm still doing it and it's getting better, so I'm like, man, that's pretty wild. Again, I I didn't win a TV show. I'm just a guy that grabbed his guitar and said, I'm going to go to LA. Like I kind of did it the old school way, and I'm grateful I'm still here. Grateful I'm growing. You know, it feels good. I'm grateful.
You're really a true testament to, you know, you could still do it the old school way.
Yeah.
And there's probably more, you know, I don't want to say there's a right way and a wrong way, but, you know, winning from a TV show or any kind of thing and getting instant stardom seems to quickly burn out, you know, for a lot of people.
Sure. And again, I have very good friends who have been on TV shows. I've had friends that have won some of those competition shows, and I'm not bashing that. What I'm saying is that I'm grateful that I've gone through every experience. I've kind of built myself up from the ground floor.
Right.
And I feel like I've gained the experience to be able to handle more and more things. Right. You know, I wasn't thrust out into a universe where I'm like, I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to sing. I've performed in pretty much every type of venue you can think of at this point. I've played birthday parties, bars, you know, backyard things. You know, I've done charity events, sporting events. And I love all of it. I love, you know, I feel like I've learned so much through everything, and I feel like I carry that experience with me, and I'm proud of that. You know, I don't look at that with shame or anything.
Have you ever done a line of with an old school artist in Malibu?
No, I was close, but no, I stopped myself. Yeah, they were upset.
I think about like, oh, here's what I wanted to ask you. Since we're talking about so I have this DVD collection of live concerts.
Oh, cool.
Okay, everywhere from U2 to Coldplay, Dave Matthews Band, Morrissey.
Yep.
Nelly Furtado. I mean,
okay.
It's a wide range of musicians.
Yeah.
And I enjoy watching them.
Yeah.
And
man.
I here's what I've noticed. I've noticed a small decline in artists doing that anymore because I feel like you just watch it on YouTube from a fan, and it's never the same though.
Yeah, no, it's true. I mean, you can YouTube anyone doing anything at any time in history when there were cameras. But there are some concert films that I used to watch over and over again. I guess one of them was John Mayer's Where the Light Is, live in LA. I don't know if you have ever seen that. I don't know if you're a Mayer fan.
What year was that?
Sometime in the 2000s. It was before I moved to LA. I moved to LA in 2012, I think. So, I mean, it was like, I don't know, 2005, 6, maybe, something like that. I was in high school, and I learned that's one of the famous songs from that was his version of Free Fallin' by Tom Petty. That's where that happened. And that was a pivotal time in my life. I learned his version of it before it even came out. I just saw a clip on YouTube, and I was like, because this is a guitar nerd thing, but the guitar players will understand. He would put his thumb over the fret and play the low E string. He'd play the bass notes, and that's where I learned how to do that. I think so many guitarists in my generation learned that from him. It's a very unique technique that a lot of people use now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Who do you think are the best guitarists alive right now? Or because did you ever see that one documentary that featured? It was The Edge from U2.
Yeah, Jack White.
And Led Zeppelin's.
Yes, of course.
Jimmy Page.
I was like having a fart. Yeah, mind fart. Yes, Jimmy Page. Yes. And yes, I watched it, and that was very cool. Yeah.
That was cool. It was cool because it really was like 3 guitarists who were in their own right were big, you know. Of course, Jimmy Page is one of the best, but age was different. You know, genres were different. Yeah. They were worlds apart, yet they were right there in the center of the room together, just jamming out.
I know.
That was cool.
So cool. Yeah, no, that was great. So many cool moments from that, for sure.
Best live DVD I've ever seen was Dave Matthews Band live from Piedmont Park. I think that was New York, or I don't know where it was from. But and here's how I really fell for Dave Matthews Band as live musicians. I was expecting, to hear Crash Into Me.
Yeah.
And what's the other one?
Ants Marching?
Cannot quick me so quickly.
Oh, yeah, of course. I hear it in my head. That was a good impression. Yeah.
So I was like, all right, cool. Let me see what they say. I hear they sound great.
The space between.
That's it.
Yeah.
And I heard none of that. Instead, they opened it with a song called Two Step.
Yeah,
and he comes out with his guitar and he just like and I'm like, oh, what is this? And then it builds.
Yeah.
And then it goes on for 8 to 12 minutes. Yeah. I was mind blown.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I went through a big Dave Matthews Band phase. And that's, and they've never left. I remember entering the portal, when I was like in high school. A big memory I have is, when I first got my license when I was 16, I remember driving around Arlington, Texas, and I was listening to, I had the CD of the Dave Matthews. It was called Big Whiskey and the Grugrux King. Right. And I listened to that over and over and over. While I was driving, I felt like I attached the feeling of freedom, youthful freedom when I had my license, when I first got it and I could go anywhere, to that album. Whenever I hear any songs from that, it takes me right back there. Yeah. And I've seen Dave Matthews a lot, twice, which still feels like a lot. But my favorite Dave Matthews albums are the ones that he did acoustic live with Tim Reynolds. Yes. Like Dave Matthews and Tim Reynolds live at Luther College. Right. Incredible guitar playing, singing, songwriting. The one at Radio City is great.
I remember that one.
I mean, those are I go back and listen to those sometimes and I'm still like, God, these are so good.
So see, this is why, I was so excited and I'm still very excited that we need to take a field trip to see Dylan Chambers live. I'm serious. We got to do this.
Please. So always welcome, man.
If you know the man, find some information.
Yes.
And we'll I'll get a date and some friends together and we'll make a trek out to see Dylan Chambers live because I've seen Dylan Chambers live and let me tell you, it's very unlike any other. And
thanks, man.
It's another artist who has a very rare aura about him. Even when you were young, dude, it was you had this aura about you, and you were I had no idea you were that young. Yeah. B, you were that green, or whatever. But
I was.
It was you're a true performer.
Thank you, man. That means a lot, and means a lot coming from you because. Yeah, somehow our lives have crossed paths many times, and it's kind of like you were always there, and I didn't even really know it. And it's just so interesting to still know you and to have someone that saw me then. I only felt all these things inside. It's interesting to hear someone's perspective that saw me when I first moved out to LA and saw me performing and. I don't know, trying and doing my thing. Yeah.
It's for me, it was discovering you, but it was also, brushing shoulders with, these, just random celebrities and people and just, all I wanted to do was just get a Jack and Coke. And there I was sitting next to Candace who didn't have a drink and I felt guilty. I was like, let me put it down.
Yeah. But, I don't think she drinks very much at all.
Yeah, no, I really like her. She's awesome.
She's always been kind to me.
Yeah. No, but it was the Sayers Club. If anybody who's watching or listening to this podcast has gone to the Sayers Club, you know how unique and special that place was.
Yeah.
Gosh, man. Yeah. It's crazy. Well, I guess I'll be more locked into your social media.
Yeah, for sure.
Get you on again, but we'll have to see you live. I think next is seeing you live for sure.
Yeah, man.
So we'll have
anytime.
To do that. Jazzy K. I want to connect you with Jazzy K.
Yeah, please.
While she's here, hopefully. So
sounds great.
We catch her. And Dylan Chambers is anybody that anything else that we discussed or need to talk about? That's it.
No, I don't think so.
Well, Dylan, thank you so much for coming back, man.
Thank you, Freddie.
I hope
Great
you
to see you. I did. I always have fun talking with you, man.
Good. Yeah. Me and Michelle and you, we had a blast last time.
Yeah. And, shout out to Michelle. Please give her my love.
We'll have to invite her and we'll all go out to eat.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Somewhere fun in LA, and
cool.
then we'll get together for that. But can't wait to see you live next.
Dude, yes, 100%, man.
Awesome.
Thank you, brother.